AI video. Can you say it with me? Sora AI video by OpenAI. If you thought chatbots were interesting, what about video bots? Have you used AI video in the last year? Have you seen where it was a year ago and what kind of progress we've seen on it month after month, quarter after quarter, and now year over year? Because if you haven't, well, what you're about to learn, if you don't already know, could blow your mind. OpenAI has made a video tool that requires simple keyword prompts, just like you use to generate large texts with its chat GPT interface, where you can create hyper-realistic videos up to a minute long about any topic. And it is incredible, the level of detail, the quality of the physics of the motion, the lighting, the shadows, etc. You can ask me, well, why don't you show us some of it on this video? Well, for all you know, I am showing you that on this video. Unless, of course, you watched my previous videos, and then you do know whether or not this is actually an AI video or not. But I will tell you that people who watch these AI and don't know that they're made by AI definitely will be fooled and are being fooled. And remember that the quality that we have now, which is good enough to fool people, is the worst it's ever going to be. Now, why does that matter? It matters because it means it's only going to get better. And that means that the quality is only going to improve. And that means there's only going to be a lot more tomfoolery happening. Did I just say tomfoolery? Yes, I did. While talking about AI video? Yes, I did. Well, on this glorious rainy day, with the sun blasting out, there's definitely a sunny rainbow somewhere around. But in any case, what I mean to further expound upon is that the power of these video tools is only going to get better. And what that means is people are going to use them for an increasing number of nefarious deeds. And there's going to be a whole lot of scamming and fraud and fake news and fake politicians and people doing things they didn't actually do in every imaginable scenario. To which I say, well, it's kind of already happened with deepfakes. And so in some way, it's not really new. But the quality is so much better that it's going to be extremely convincing and hard to undo the damages as long as people remain kind of naive. Even if they know about it, they won't realize, and they will be fooled. Part of the reason they'll be fooled is because the people who report about it may not necessarily know. Even tech reporters may fall for it. Even investigative journalists may fall for it. And if that's the case, well, who's to say anybody's going to get it right? The answer is nobody will. Not for a while. Well, some will, but the vast majority of the population will be very sheeple-like, and they will be misled. And that's, the mud of it. That's a shame. The good news is that eventually will change as regulations come into play or other things happen, laws get passed even, or just more importantly, as I like to put it, people adapt to the times and the tech usually faster than the rules and regulations. The rules and regulations and the laws are usually and normally only put in place for one purpose and one purpose only: to put the sovereign power into the pie, so they can put their grubby little hands all over it and take their share of it in their taxes or whatever. That's usually the only point at which they'll get an interest in this, is once they see a potential for revenue. Till then, they don't care. Let people fight it out. It's like the nobles watching the peasants fight it out in a muddy fight in the street in a winter rain, and they laugh in their horse-drawn carriage as they drive by. And you know, if one of the peasants of the mob of 1,000 people in a melee survives, they'll have a good chuckle, and maybe they'll invite him to some event. Mostly to laugh at him, even while making him think he's being kindly received. It's very much the same thing. And if you think it's changed in hundreds of years of so-called democracy, well, it hasn't. The only difference is the hats that the leaders wear. Right? Physically, they don't wear hats usually anymore these days, unless they're in the military and they're wearing helmets, or you know, they wear suits now. But the whole noblesse oblige elitist mentality is still very much alive, even in republican democracies, right? Even in representative democracies, even in parliamentary democracies. Doesn't matter what style of democracy or other forms of government that exist in the 21st century. We still very much have classes of elite people who very much view the rest of us as peasants, whether we are or not. That's their view. And our job in the world of marketing is to take these lovely advances in technology. Wait, what? How did you make that jump? I'll show you. Oh, don't worry. Our job in marketing is to take these lovely advances in the world of tech and show how it can actually help you democratize power, not just commoditize it, so that at the end of the day, we're all just, you know, little guppies vying for every last possible rotting crumb of the whale that has sunk to the bottom of the sea and is now a micro ecosystem for decades for all kinds of little tiny fish and coral and whatever. Right? What we want to do as marketers is to show that we can use this tech for good, that we can use this tech in a way that it hasn't been used before to create positive messaging and to do things that are creative with the messages and the tools that we use. So people are saying they're worried these actors might be replaced, key grips and light professionals, etc. will all be replaced. To which I posit, first of all, people are already being replaced by AIs. You know what those people are doing who've been replaced? They're getting other jobs. They're doing other things with their knowledge. Some of them are managing AI bots. Some of them are managing AI managers. Some of them are learning to build AI bots. Some of them are doing completely different stuff. Either they change their field, which is never fun or easy, especially the older you get, and you have more responsibilities, and you can't just necessarily switch from a senior role in one industry to a senior role in the other if you have no experience in it. So it's not easy. That is true. Not easy for everyone. Many people are suffering. Many more will suffer. But not everyone will suffer. And I don't mean only the elites will succeed and thrive. I mean many people in the bell curve of distribution. A large percentage, probably the bulk of us, will find ways to thrive with the new tech. How can I be so sure? Well, email was revolutionary. It was sure to put millions of postal carriers out of business. Where are all those postal carriers now? Well, apart from the ones who are still delivering postal messages, the rest of them do other things. They didn't just all vanish or become homeless. Right? They found other things to do. Maybe they deliver for some other company, or they do other things. Right? Same thing with mobile phones. They were supposed to put the landline telephone company business out of business. But there's still plenty of landline telephones. They've just had to shrink their companies because things are more efficient with the mobile phones. You don't need as many landlines, so you don't need to support as much landline infrastructure, etc., etc. There's no difference really between that and AI video. The only reason it feels different is because we live in an age that's so consumed with video that we think that somehow this is different. Well, it's not. The truth is, it's very much the same, and it will be just another iteration of technology improving and upgrading people's lives. And it is incumbent upon us to find the best to do that without being whiny about it. And right now, a lot of what I see are YouTubers, especially the popular ones, many of whom are great YouTubers, by the way, but many YouTubers being whiny about it. Like they fear this thing. And they're pretty young YouTubers. I mean, they're not older than in their 30s in most cases. I consider that pretty young. And I find it hilarious that they don't just embrace this outright. And rather than fear the change, lean into it, because it is inevitable. And if those young guns are afraid of the change, well, hold my beer, as they say. Let me show you how it's done. Have a nice day.